Yes, good afternoon, wherever you are watching. This is Afric 24, and this is your daily 24-hour channel whereby we are going to give you more about what is happening in the country and also tell you more about politics in our country. Remember, we have the new nominees for the cabinet of William Ruto. You remember that William Ruto gave us new names after the Gen Z went to the streets and appointed new cabinet. This is after the dismiss of the old cabinet, and now we have the new cabinet in the secretaries that are being vetted. And today it was the last day. All of them, they were vetted. This is the committee that was led by Speaker of the National Assembly and was the chairman of that meeting, Moses Masika Wetangula. So we saw today whereby Azimio top leaders, the likes of Hassan Joho, who really shocked a lot of Kenyans because people have been saying that Joe is not learned. People had been saying Joe is not well educated, and today he spoke a very pure English. It's like Joe come from Marekani. I think Uzalando will be telling us about Joe because Joe really spoke something that is very constructive today during the vetting, and I have seen most of coastal leaders congratulating Ali Hassan Joho. Still, we saw John Bandi. Bandi was still in the committee, whereby he was asked a lot of tough questions by his Azimio counterparts, who were the likes of Junet Mohammed and the likes of minority leader who is Imani Ichungwa. Again, we have seen what is happening in the country. The heat is still there. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua motion that is ongoing that he will be a bit still moving around. We have seen President William Ruto today talking while he was in Narok, and he said that he is ready to work with every part of the country. That is why he even involved those guys from Azimio, and now they are in the cabinet. We have also seen what is happening in Nairobi County, whereby people are complaining about Governor Sakaja incompetent when it comes to the running of Nairobi County. This is after what happened yesterday, whereby toy market was set ablaze, and the traders there were complaining that maybe there is someone who wants to occupy the land that is found in toy market. And when Sakaja went there, he was stunned. When Babowino went there, he was received cordially by the toy market traders. And the controversial came when the governor of Nairobi County came and he was chased away by the traders. Again, you have seen Mombasa, that is the coastal region, congratulating the president for appointing Ali Hassan Joho, who is now the highest, I will say, he is the highest cabinet secretary who has a lot of money because he declared today the net worth he has. That is almost a billion, 2.3 billion. Of course, the other nominees were saying 600, others were saying 30 million, others were saying 200 million. But Joe declared it to the public that he has 2.3 billion. This is after what he said he has several homes in Mombasa, Kilifi, Nairobi, and some parts of the Kenya. So we saw what happened. So, and again, you have seen what is happening in Mount Kenya region, whereby the war is still on between Didi Nyoro and Rigathi Gachagua, who is going to be the top leader of the Mount Kenya region. A lot of things are happening, and we are going to discuss this in our Freak 24 60 minutes political talk. I'm joined by Mzalendo here. Mzalendo, tell us where are you following the show from and what is your view about what is happening in our country, Kenya. This is after the president dissolved the entire cabinet, and today was the last day whereby the new nominees were given that exam during the vetting. What is your take, Mzalendo, and tell us more about your point of view about what the president did? Do you agree with this? Yes or no? And why?
Thank you very much, Bonnie, and thank you once again for welcoming me in 60 minutes. Now, I have very mixed views about the vetting that is going on in Kenya. First, I want to say that this is a big scam, a waste of taxpayers' money. Although it is in the constitution that we have to vet members to the cabinet. This is ridiculous. What we are witnessing is comedy. It is something that is unacceptable. When you are vetting people, for example, you vet them and they tell you that we have got so many parcels of land, so many vehicles. They don't produce documents. You don't ask them how they got these vehicles, which year they got the vehicles. You don't ask them for their bank statements. This is a sham. This is what Kenya is all about. This is why this generation has failed. This is why you see Gen Zs on the streets. This is completely unacceptable. People are making more money than even industries. Somebody is making over 2 billion. Is worth more than even Mambati Rolling Mills. Yet they don't even have a company that is running. Yeah, people are seated behind the desk. Somebody is telling you they're worth 350 million. Then this is the question that I ask myself: why do you come to get a job that is worth only 1 million if you are worth billions and billions of shillings? None of them is saying that they are servant leaders. They have come to improve the government. And worse still, Mr. Kimanzi, these are people who are drawn from the opposition that were competing on a different kind of platform. They are drawn from the ODM political party, which has got a different manifesto from the Asla movement. So integrating them will be very, very difficult. And it shows you what political parties are formed of. These political parties have got no interest of serving the people of Kenya other than their own personal interest. Otherwise, thank you, Bonnie. Thank you for inviting me once again. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Mzalendo, for your wonderful submission. And of course, this is a billionaire cabinet. As you can see on top of your screen, this is a billionaire cabinet because everyone there, despite Muga, who was the lowest, SCS, who has the lowest net worth because he has only that 2 million, and the others ranges from 600 up to today, whereby Hassan Joho declared that he has more than 2.3 billion. This is something that really shocked a lot of Kenyans, and we are waiting to see what is going to happen now after the end of day 4 that was given by President, so they can now be vetted. So we are waiting to see. And one thing I really enjoyed during the vetting is the presence of Junet Mohammed, because Junet was still there, and he was asking his Azimio mates a lot of tough questions. I was really happy to see Junet Mohammed there, and he was asking very tough questions, which are really, really wanting at this time, whereby we are fighting and pushing the government to perform. We're waiting to see if this cabinet is going to work. It's going to work, and we are going to get the best when it comes to the Azimio and UDA government. To start on, we want to listen to this clip before we take away on it.
The Speaker,
Yes.
I have taken note that the CS nominee, last time we vetted him here under your chairmanship, and I've seen he has just come with the same suit that he came with that time. I have the picture with me here in my phone, Mr. Speaker. I was waiting for a different one.
It's the same suit.
The same suit and the same tie. I was looking for something else.
Maybe that's his attire of luck.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, Mr. Speaker. Maybe the people who live in the valleys of Elgeyo Marakwet were told him, if you want to get approval, just take that suit and that tie. Yes. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, the question I want to ask him is that one is about this Ministry of Sports. I wanted to ask him that about protection and growth of local content. What measures will you take to protect Kenyan artists from plagiarism? Then how is the government going to assist local artists, local creatives, in achieving 60% of content for local broadcast? How will you ensure that all Kenyans, including those who do not have access to TV, can consume our local content? How will you achieve that? And lastly, Waziri, from your previous office, please put it very clear to this committee. What is this matter of Adani and Jomo Kenyatta Airport? When did you travel to India? Whom did you go? What is the content of the letter? Everything. We want to know whether the Jomo Kenyatta Airport is still Kenyan Airport or it is now Mumbai International Airport. Please.
Yes, nominee.
Mr. Chair, as a matter of fact, what
You either refer to me as chairman or speaker. I'm not a chair. I'm sitting on one.
yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
The chairperson or chairman.
Yes.
Why don't you like chairperson, Mr. Speaker? Because you don't want to give room for agenda, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
If I know if I say this, I will offend you and other people.
That was the nominee for the sports ministry in our country, Kenya. One of very sensitive ministries we have in the country are sports, education, agriculture, security, and finance. But now here we are dealing with Kipchumba Murkomen, who was given the mandate to lead the youth and sports industry in the country. This is one of areas whereby we need to weigh on it because this is a very sensitive ministry which requires a lot of weight, which requires someone to be competent and also someone who is very aggressive because this is a wide area whereby you need to work and make sure that you are going to deliver when it comes to sports and also make sure the youth are well engaged in the country. You know, when it comes to sports, we have athletics, we have golf, we have football, we have rugby, we have volleyball, we have netball, we have handball. So someone who is going to come in there, he should make sure that our country, Kenya, is well represented. He makes sure that every department is well represented and also make sure that everything is in the right order. You have seen what is happening in the Paris Olympics, you know, the former CS who is Ababu Namwamba, he was one of the delegates who were to go and represent the country in the Paris Olympics, France. But now, after what it happened, he was dismissed by the president because the entire cabinet was dismissed. So we have now the acting PS, that is the PS, that is principal secretary in the Ministry of Sports, who is Peter Tum. Peter Tum, together with National Athletes Committee of Kenya, that is Paul Tergat, are the ones who are representing our team in the Paris Olympics because we don't have the CS. So Kipchumba Murkomen, he has been asked several questions, but what came into my mind is how is he going to make sure that this country, when it comes to content, is being distributed in the local areas, and how is going to make sure that we don't have plagiarism in our content. And we just want to pose this question to Mozalendo. In your point of view, do you think Kipchumba Murkomen is perfect candidate for the sports industry, or we should go back to the drawing board and get someone who is competent, someone who understands the sports docket, someone who is someone who has the content for the sports that generally. Do you think Kipchumba Murkomen is the one, or the president did a mistake?
Thank you. Thank you once again for that particular question. One thing I want to say is that I am, just as I said, I am disappointed by the kind of questioning that is happening in among the members of parliament. They are questioning one of their own. These are the birds of the same feather, and they have been advancedly mentioned in issues of corruption. So if Kipchumba Murkomen was mentioned in a scandal, then is taken to sports, that does not solve the problem that he's having. That is my personal view. If he was accused of misappropriation and mismanagement in his docket, then that does not solve the problem. in sports. It's transferring a disease to another ministry. But having said that, I want to give him some benefit of doubt because he's young. He loves soccer, so maybe the policies that is going to formulate will steer this country in another direction. Sports is a very sensitive ministry, and the Kenyan government has always taken it for granted. Most of the high earners in the world come from the game of sports. The kind of money that people like Messi, Ronaldo, and is because of the foundations that their country had in sports and the development. Viewers out there should know that sports is a curriculum. It is something that you learn. You go and learn sports. You have seen many times the Liverpool Academy, sponsored by Standard Group, coming to Kenya to give some clinical training. So sports is a curriculum. It is just like the way you take your child to baby class, to nursery, and it continues like that and like that. If we want to improve in soccer, I know so many people would argue that why don't you bring somebody who has played the game? That this is the difference. This is the difference. Somebody who has played the game is good on the pitch, but could not. Sometimes they are not good in management. That is what is the difference. So if you get somebody who is good in management, then there are policies that can be formulated by the sports body. We have the Boxing Association, Boxing Federation in Kenya. We have the FKF in Kenya. We have the Athletics Federation in Kenya. We have the tennis community. We have the rally team community. So all these sports, they have small bodies that when the minister sits with them, they can tell him their projection of the year and what they want in development. But again, the minister has got an insight. He knows that we need enough stadiums for our children to play. We need more emphasis. If I was to advise the minister, is that we need more emphasis on school sports. We need more emphasis in the schools in 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 games. They need to make it more seriously, and they need to mark it at the end of the exams as a paper. You need to sit for an exam in sports, in athletics, in school, so that there is some seriousness and there is some money that it is being injected by the Ministry of Education to improve curriculum, and sports be part of the curriculum if you want to improve our games in general. So in short, I think I am giving him 6 out of 10. That probably due to his education, therefore he will get it from the bodies that are involved in various disciplines. Yes.
So Mzalendo is saying that he's giving Kipchumba Murkomen 6 out of 10, and I wonder where does this 6 come from? Because the way he has talked about, we still, Mzalendo want to bring this into attention that when it comes to the Minister of Sports, during the reign of Uhuru Kenyatta, this is the time when we had the CS for sports, who was Amina Mohammed, and this is the time where country Kenya was given the ban by the FIFA. Kenya was banned from engaging to FIFA. But when it came to the Ruto's government, CS Ababu Namamba tried, and we brought back our relationship with the FIFA. But now, still, we have seen last week whereby our country was given the notice from the Chief Justice saying that we should not have annual general meeting. And this is one of the things that made FIFA to get frustrated, because they had said already they had sent representative from Zurich, Switzerland, and they came to Nairobi. But at the end of the day, we did not have the meeting. So this is one area whereby FIFA realized that Kenya is not a serious country, and that is why we have the conflict in the FKF, that is the Football Kenya Federation, and the High Court, and also the stakeholders who are involved in this Ministry of Sports. So do you think Kipchumba Murkomen is going to unite FIFA, FKF, and the High Court of Kenya? Because we have the problems that are
Okay.
encroaching in between those areas.
Let me just briefly tell you that FIFA does not work with the government to formulate policy. FIFA is an institution of its own. FIFA is its affiliated body is FKF, that is Football Kenya Federation. The government of Kenya does not come in when it comes to FIFA. FKF is supposed to follow the rules of FIFA. FKF in Kenya is supported by the government to facilitate various sports activities for the national team that carry the country's flags in various sports. So that is the work the government does. The president of the Republic of Kenya cannot go and negotiate on behalf of the country on a sports discipline, like for soccer, if we are facing a ban in our country. So that is where there's a difference. There's a difference. So when you are formulating policies that in government, and you expect FIFA to follow what the government of Kenya has deliberated on behalf of Football Kenya, they will have a problem with that. They will have a problem with that. So for government to work with the Football Federation, they have to look at the Kenya Football Federation constitution, what it says, because this is a very independent entity. Remember, those who are at the helm of football, they who are at the helm of the game or of the body, they subscribe to, they are elected by the people, they are elected by the team. For example, you brought the issue of FIFA. For Nick Mwendo to become the president of FIFA, he receives votes from various clubs that participate in the FKF league, and that is what happens. Yes.
So I know we have Nick Mwendwa, who is serving is the next term in this Minister of Sports, and we want to make sure that there is some things that are happening in the FKF, and also making things not go in the right order. So I think if we have this guy Nick Mwenda being executed from this docket, then we are going to move on well. We have Hosseini Mohammed, who is one of the leaders who is vying so that he can become the next FKF president. So we are waiting to see whether he's going to work for the people of Kenya, and also make sure that the sports industry in the country moves on well, because we have the Football Kenya Federation, and this is one of the major areas that we need to focus on. So I think Kipchumba Murkomen is going to work and make sure everything is in the right order. You can join us through the comment section there, whether you're following us in Africa24 YouTube channel there. Join us. You are following us through the Facebook page there. Join us, and you'll get more information about what is happening in the country, more so when it comes to politics, and also get to know the ongoing vetting of the new CS nominees that were given by President William Ruto. You're following us in TikTok, Instagram. Make sure you join us through this conversation, because you're going to get to know more about what is happening. Remember, still, we talked today about the Paris Olympics that are happening in France. You know, our country, Kenya, we have been disappointed whereby Hetina Domanyala has been defeated in 100 meters finals. Don't forget about the Ugandan Joshua Cheptegei, who still won 10,000 meters yesterday, and today we saw Alfred, who is one of St. Lucia's women who won 100 meters final. This is after the withdrawal of the Jamaican star, who is top talent in 100 meters final. Paris Olympics, more about Paris Olympics. We talked about them, but still, today we had it, and tomorrow we still have the Timber Show. We are going to discuss more about it. Moving on, we had one of former government spokesman who was there, and he is holding a PhD in communication, Dr. Alfred Mutua. He was there, and now he'll be working to make sure that everything is okay in another ministry. So we want to see how was the proceeding, and then we get way about Dr. Alfred Mutua vetting today in the parliament.
The gravity of the reports concerning the mistreatment of Kenyans working there, ranging from denying of food, beaten to death, taken to jail under unnecessary circumstances. Honorable Chairman, just recently, and I want to say thank you to you because you're among those people who assisted me together with the Cabinet Secretary, Prime Minister Musalia Mudavadi, to bring the body of one of my electorates, a lady who was working in Saudi Arabia, traveled with his employer to Egypt, and after 2 days, he died under unclear circumstances. It took us 1.5 months to have the body brought to Nairobi, then transferred to Mombasa. Honorable Chairman, I know there have been some reforms regarding the same issues, but I'm feeling that somehow there's no law enforcement, and I believe they are what we call international labor standards or labor laws, and we also have those who are domestic. And most of the time we are talking about this issue, we are putting some reforms, but yet nothing is being done. In the reports of that case which I've just mentioned, it has written that the death of this lady is under investigation. And this is not the first time. I had another previous case some months back. It had the same report that it is under investigation. But after that, there is no feedback, there is nothing, and it's just like that, and no justice is achieved on that. So my question is, do we have some protocol where should be followed in case of such unfortunate happenings that the family maybe need to follow so that to ensure that they get the body at good time? For us as Muslim, you can imagine she was a Muslim and she had to stay in mortuary for almost 1.5 months for her to come back to Kenya. So I'm like, this is an area where we have to put some policies or rather some measures. And I know we have some impediment because some of the countries, maybe they are not subscribing to the United Nations and especially on universal human rights law. And that is why it became very difficult. We have been putting so many resolutions at the international level regarding this issue of human rights violation. But still these cases keep on happening each and every time. And yet we don't know. This family, they're just there. They get the body, nothing is being told to them, and sometimes even they don't get the belongings of that person. They just receive the body, and that is all. Some of them, they're denying their passport. The passports are confiscated. Some of them, they're rendered jobless. They had to go and sleep in the mosque and in the street in Saudi Arabia. So I think this is a matter which you really need to deal with. My second question...
He can only do so if he's confirmed.
Yeah, if you are confirmed, that is. And my second question is, a plan to address the challenges faced by online job seekers in Kenya, utilizing the Ajira platform which the government of Kenya Kwanza has initiated. But I know it has been marred by so many challenges, from digital infrastructure, especially in the rural area, lack of digital literacy, fraudulent job seekers, job offers, whereby our youth have lost millions and nothing is being done on that. What kind of intervention will you implement to tackle these challenges and ensure equitable access to online employment opportunity to all our Kenyans and more so protect them from these fraudulent offers?
Thank
on
you.
a light note, because now maybe you're going to be confirmed as Waziri for labor and social protection. Kenyans are thinking that you should minimize this drama, especially on your marital status, because somehow they can jeopardize your character or put you in a very negative situation, because now we want to see that even our
Order.
cabinet secretaries.
Order.
You
Point
asked
of order.
about opulence.
Order, Mishi.
Yes.
I think
There is no requirement for one to be married to be considered for public office in this country.
I'm saying that drama, there'll be some drama. You have talked about opulence. You talked about opulence on Murchumba Murkomen. You talked about opulence
Order.
on Honorable
This
Joho.
committee will not open anybody's bedroom. Shuria. Shuria. Shuria, stop laughing and ask a question.
I think, Chairman, it's best you protect people's bedrooms, as you said. We don't want those matters coming out here in the public. I think.
The nominee, you will not comment on that.
Thank
Go
you.
on.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think Caleb came up with a very long list, and I just want to maybe in future he might get another opportunity. Mheshimiwa, if approved, what key results or deliverables can Kenyans expect from you in the short, medium, and long term? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Rasso and then Mule.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Alfred, you are the governor of Machakos, and also you are government spokesman. During those two stints, we were able to follow you. You were able to publicize what you are doing, the government agenda, when you are the spokesman. But once you were vetted by this committee and you appointed a cabinet secretary, you just slowly faded away. Is it that maybe it is comfort zone to be a cabinet secretary? Or the dockets that you occupy were not really engaging? Because Article 152 clearly says what is cabinet. The president, the deputy president, the attorney general, and 14 to 21 cabinet secretaries. Those are the people who run government. And because of your background, we expected you to really support the government you are serving, particularly in advising them on the area of communication, because your PhD is on communication. So maybe you will comment on that. Honorable Speaker, I need to ask something on labor. Not preamble, because I am just asking two questions because of time.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Alfred, my second question, we had two generals in the army, the late General Mlinge, General Mahmoud. During army recruitment, recruiting officers will go to an area and they will say, look out for this tribe, because they were looking out for the minorities, that minorities should not be excluded from the army. When we come to the ministry.
Yes, that is the nominee for the Ministry for Labor in the country, who is Dr. Alfred Mutua. You know, Alfred Mutua was still serving in the former cabinet that was dismissed by William Samuel Ruto, but now is being nominated as a cabinet secretary in the Ministry of Labor. And now there is some of the questions that are encroaching during the vetting, and he was asked today, like, what did you do while you were in the former cabinet? Yet you worked in the Machakos County as the governor for 2 terms. You worked with the former government, with former president who is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and also you worked with him as the government spokesman. Why would you not help the government that is currently ongoing with publicity and making sure that the communication is very key? Because people are saying that the communication department in this government, which is led by President William Ruto, is not up to standard. So they are asking why? Why did you not help the president? And now he's coming in as the the minister for labor. We have had one of the Ukambani MPs asking him how has he developed the counties in Ukambani, because he said that he has done a lot of development project in Ukambani. So in contrary, MP Mule asked him which are these development, because he come from Machakos, but still he has not seen those developments. So that was controversial to what Dr. Alfred Mutua gave. And Michiboko still brought this concert whereby that Mutua Alfred, he was in marriage still, but the marriage broke because I don't know what happened, but still that is one of the areas where Michiboko included, and she asked him how is he going to make sure that those areas that affected him during the marriage and also during his lifestyle are not going to be affected by Kenyans. But the Speaker of the National Assembly, he cancelled that question. But we hope that if at any point he is vetted and he is given the mandate to be the cabinet for the cabinet secretary for the Minister of Labor in the country, is going to make sure that the people from Kenya who are looking for opportunities in abroad, the people of Kenya who are suffering in abroad, for example, in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, because we can hear most of people are suffering in the Middle East countries. If we are going to get support and make sure that people are not mistreated, then we are going to be in the right order. This is the vetting of Dr. Alvin Mutua, who is nominated at the CES for the Ministry of Labor, which is one of the heavy area which need to be considered in the country Kenya. So waiting to see whether Alfred Mutua, if given the duty, is going to perform. He has been there. He has been working with the government. He has been the president of Machakos County because he has been governor for 2 terms. So we are waiting to see whether this reappointment in the Ruto's government is going to give him that power and is going to deliver for the people of Kenya. Specifically, make sure that the government is run in the right order, because they are saying, as you have heard there, the government is made by president, deputy president, and also attorney general in composition with the cabinet secretary. Mzaleno, what is your take about Alfred Mutua being nominated as the CS for the labor? And do you think that this ministry needs to be taken with high consideration?
I My take on that particular ministry is that first, I think Alfred Mutua is been appointed in the wrong ministry. If I was to advise President Ruto, this Alfred Mutua guy should have been the government spokesman. And if he was to give him the best ministry that he would serve the people of Kenya, then it would have been for sports and youth affairs, where Murkomen is currently. They needed to have done a swap with Alfred Mutua, because Alfred Mutua has interacted with a lot of youth. He has been is in the industry, is in the entertainment industry, so he knows quite a bit about the industry. And remember, right now, a lot of things and what you're doing is the business on the internet space, and most of these youths are involved a lot in production as their main area that they want to earn some kind of money. So Alfred Mutua has been doing filming, and he's been involved in the youth. So I feel that he should have been in the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs, and they do a swap with Murkomen. That is my take on that particular issue.
That is Mzalendo saying that they should do a swipe with the Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen so that Mutua can work with the sports industry. But Mzalendo, do you think interaction, do you just believe interaction with the youth will make him competent to work in the sports industry?
Sports industry needs innovation, needs creativity, needs. Sometimes you need to have that ability to think beyond what you're being offered. Alfred Mutua is this kind of person. that thinks beyond just what is offered. I have seen him perform very well when he was the government spokesperson. People hated him very much, and that is what is needed in that kind of position. When you put him in labor, he has got no history in managing the county affairs of the labor force in Machakos County. So it puts him again in a very awkward position. And it is not something that he will be passionate about. Sometimes I think it's not about the money that you're going for. Just like the LSK chair lady, she declined a position by William Ruto. Those are people of principles. They say that, I cannot work in this government because the kind of views that they are having is different from my own perspective. Those are principles, and that is what we lack in Kenya. We lack leaders with principles. We lack. Alfred Mutua would have said, thank you, Mr. President. I love to work with the government of Kenya, but maybe I will not perform to my level best, being the minister for labor. We cannot have any of those who have been vetted or selected as in this cabinet position saying something like that. So that is sad. It is sad, and it's happening in Kenya. Yes.
Zalando is saying that maybe one of the cabinet secretary who was nominated could have said that I'm not competent in this area. Give me another
No, no,
duty.
no,
But
no. Yeah, I'm giving just an example. You could have said, hey, Mr. President, what your government has done in the past few weeks, and with the demonstrations going on, I will not. I don't feel comfortable working for you in this position. You can give it to somebody else. That is a very noble cause, and you will receive a lot of respect, especially from even the president himself. So that is how you build your integrity. But everybody is jumping in a position. Look at, for example, John Mbadi. He knows that this Ministry of Finance has been having a lot of issues. How is he going to pay the debts that Kenya has? How is he going to juggle in between? Can he, in his first 100 days, did you hear anybody asking him in his first 100 days, can he tell us, the people of Kenya, how much we owe and publish it in the newspaper? Those are the right questions to ask. Then, why do you collect taxes in Kenya and yet you don't give the people back? The taxes collected in Kenya are supposed to help government to do their business, but they are supposed to give you as a refund back. But you see, the refund is only going for the rich billionaires that we have in government. So I feel, I told you from the onset that the chairperson, Mr. Wetangula, has been involved in corruption himself. He was involved with the scandal. Do you remember the gold scam? Or maybe you are too young to remember the gold scam. There was a gold scam that Wetangula was involved in. He was also involved in the sale of our embassy. You know. So when somebody like that poses on the screen, like somebody of integrity, then we are lost, Mister. We are lost. We are lost in all this mirage. We are lost completely. We are a country that is just. Um, we are just hanging on. You know I'm missing the right word. Yani tumekaa mahali ile tuko karibu kuzama. Ni nchi iko karibu kuzama. We don't have any bank to go to check for good leaders, to pick from good leaders. We don't have institutions to pick for good leaders from. We have to pick good leaders from the political class. Yeah. How do you expect Junet to interrogate John Mbadi, his chairman in his political party, and then he pretends there that he's asking hard question. Which hard question is he asking? It's all. I mean, what are you saying? a member of your political party has been appointed, then you sit there saying that you'll ask the hard questions. Which hard questions are you going to ask? I'll play for you a clip of when he's called who is the chairperson. He resigned from his cabinet position. He's been involved. So this is the country we are in. Country ya majambazi tu, yani people who are ready to do anything, to get anything. Mm? Mm.
Wetangula is a person of interest in the fake gold syndicate rocking the country. Not only has it become a heavy business for the high and mighty, with senior politicians tagging along, but it is also linked with powerful individuals in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Dubai and Russia. What has now emerged is how the Saudi prince was duped to pay millions of shillings to purchase gold from Kenyans, gold that was apparently non-existent as it was not delivered. The main man had by NTV communicating with one of the prince's agents sounds a lot like Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula. NTV's Mel Miendo with that expose.
The fake gold syndicate is turning out to be an interlinked web of powerful individuals with their proxies, and both have become very cunning in the trade. In a week of revelations about fake gold scams in the country, senior politicians have been mentioned adversely in the scam. Among them is Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula. A leaked phone call between a man who sounds like Wetangula and a foreigner with an accent who was said to be working for the prince shows a deal gone sour. The Arab said to have paid a colossal amount of money for gold that was not delivered to them. In the phone call, Wetangula is heard trying to calm the Arab man down by using the names of President Kenyatta, ODM leader Raila Odinga and Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i.
Raila met with the head of state on this matter.
Okay.
And explained to him.
Yes.
And the head of state has called the minister. The items are safe. And since Raila brought to the attention of the boss, let him also go and explain to him what has been done so far. Then he will communicate to you.
Who will communicate it to me?
Through either Raila's people or through Zahir.
Okay.
To send your vessel to come and pick the items. So it is okay.
And you send your people, Zahir was the nominate by what you're saying of the minister to take care of his participation, this and that, and we bring it absolutely whatever you and the minister saying to us with it. Now, after that much time, your word, and the minister, and I mean Matiang'i and Zahir, they don't trust to no one else. They want the actions. They have more
Action
than...
is, my brother, I've told you, just know that it's going to be done.
But this is why we heard almost these 5 months, Moses. If we know that they are any movement on these codes and these things of these people, believe me, any movement will be a disaster for all of you, myself is included. Because
there will be none whatsoever. Take my word, my brother. It's only going to be positive and going to be resolved and done.
Then our goals of these people and are in the hand of who is right now? Because it was in the hands you and Matiang'i.
It is not in my hands. It is in the hands of the state.
No, it was not before. You say it. You have it before, and Matiang'i said it has under his control. If you remember, we have all
his capacity as minister, not in any other capacity. I am 100% sure there is no problem.
Okay.
Just rest assured and tell Sheikh not to panic. We are finishing this matter and we'll come and toast together.
But when? This is the question for them, because they listening this word to me for 5 months.
We have to sit down and discuss this issue of money, because the amount of money that I've seen is not the amount of money.
It's not our problem. It's not our problem. There is a guy and the conversation that you took it and he took it. We know all this documents. We cannot say who is.
Let's solve this matter. You know, shouting doesn't help. I've told you.
No, after 5 months, the patient will over. It's over. But Moses, don't forget that you are the first one with all the documents. Okay? Okay? You and him. Then don't play a game and waste their time, and don't make them more and more angry. If you are not able to do it, say no and don't play a game with them.
DCI detectives will be seeking to question the senator on his involvement in the fake gold scam.
Those are the kind of leaders that we have. So I am telling you, we are in big trouble. Those are the kind, and they sit in parliament, they sit in the senate, they make legislation for me and you. Nishida. So you've seen from the political class, everybody is being mentioned in a scandal. So hii serikali na upinzani ni ya majambazi tu, unaona. Wote ni majambazi sahi. Yeah. So there's no difference. There's no difference. So this is sometimes these are things that make me sick. When you see the kind of vetting that is going on, then the person ule anafanya hiyo vetting is the person ule ako na mascandal. This is just one of them. Yeah, embassy bado iko. Yeah, you can't, and that is Wetangula's voice. It can never be manipulated anyhow. Huo ni yeye kabisa. So ni hivyo. I can see Osam is saying, Mbadi said expanding tax base and revenue mobilization, efficient tax collection will bridge the budget gaps. He expects to raise an extra 600 billion. Osam, those are wishes. Let's see. I mean, I want to give him the benefit of doubt if Mbadi is going to raise an extra 6 billion. Without any corruption or people who are involved in corruption tapping the money. So let's wait and see.
Mzalendo is saying we wait and see because the cabinet that is being vetted and also the chairman is not agreeing with what they are doing there. Zalendo is not willing to support the government because the way he's saying he has no trust with the government. Again, remember, this is Africa 24. You're following us in every department. We give you the best, and of course, social media platforms. You're following us in the social media, Facebook, and also Instagram. You go there. Our YouTube channel is Africa 24. Like, comment, and subscribe because here you're going to get more about politics, sports, love, land, everything, and get to know more about our 24-hour channel. Following us in YouTube, I can see Awesome is saying Bandi said expanding tax base and revenue mobilization. Efficient tax collection will bridge budget gaps. You expect to raise an extra 600 billion. This is a body statement whereby he said he's going to work and make sure that the finance in our country, we have a lot of debts, by the way, a lot of debts that are left pending by the former CES, and now we have this nominee who is John Badi. As Mzalendo said that this is one of the heavy areas whereby if he was Badi, then he could just told the president that this is a very heavy duty, I cannot handle it. Please give it to someone else. Give me just a lighter job. But let's see whether they have been just roaring, just fuming without actions. Now they're in the government. We have to see what is going to happen in the next CS. But we have 4 of top Azimio leaders who have been joined the UDA government. Remember to follow us, subscribe before we take this short break. Then we will be coming and discussing more about what is happening in our politics and also in our country, Kenya, in a short while.
Join us every Friday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for a captivating journey into the world of love, relationships, and romance. Presented by the dynamic trio Maggie Knox, MC Jesse, and Annie Waweru. Bed of Roses promises to be your weekly dose of heartwarming stories, insightful discussions, and expert advice on matters of the heart. Whether you're single, in a relationship, or simply love a good love story, this is the show for you. Don't miss out on the chance to unwind and indulge in the joys and challenges of love, all brought to you by our talented hosts. Tune in to Africa 24 every Friday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and let us guide you through the enchanting world of Bed of Roses. Subscribe now and mark your calendars. You don't
See you there. See you there. If you have matters concerning love, then you can just come and tell us what is happening, because here we solve even those who are broken marriages. Now we go on into the Sultan. Sultan vetting.
Posing.
I can bring mine later.
Pardon? He will not come back.
No, not.
Oh, pardon?
It's not for him.
Okay, it's not for him.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Honorable Speaker.
Nominee, can I beseech members we stop here? We have 4 others waiting. If it's burning, Rahab, I'll give you. If you're asking about your question, it was answered when you are out.
It's not about my question. I was just asking about the gender imbalancing in the fishing industry. What he'll do so that women can be involved.
He said that thousands of women handling fish when it lands on the beaches. I thought? Yes. Pardon? But take the question and answer the honorable member about gender parity in the industry.
Okay. So, Mr. Speaker, the first issue was by Honorable Imesa on some mining that around the border area that is contested. What I want to tell you is that I've also heard about the same issue, for example, in Moyale County. And I am going to work with members of parliament, governors, very closely to ensure what rightfully belongs to Kenya stays in Kenya. And that opportunity is secured for and on behalf of the people of Kenya. So we'll work very well together. That assurance government is about continuity, and what Mvurya committed, I will take on and move forward with you.
Answer the remaining questions in 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker.
From Naisula and Junet.
If you could allow me, maybe just from what Junet said, on your declaration of net worth, I see you have valuables and jewelry of a good amount. Maybe you could tell us, amongst those in relation to what Junet was asking about opulence, the show of opulence, as the speaker put it. And I know you've been very active on TikTok. Can you assure the people of Kenya that these valuables and jewelry here will not be part of the things that they will see on TikTok? Because I think that is what annoys Kenyans when they see it. And because you are coming into public office, just to be sensitive that Kenyans, as much as you have declared it here, may not want to see those things.
Mr. Speaker, I think what my brother Kimani Chungwa is trying to say is referring to what they will see. I'm actually focused on what they've already seen, because it's been there. But what I want to assure this honorable committee, I appreciate certain factors of life. And you must have a balance. You must have a balance. When you're serving the people, you must, first of all, make them feel comfortable. You must make them feel you're one of them. So opulence for me, no. When I am working, I am working. When I'm enjoying myself in my own setup at home, that's fine. That's another story. But when I'm going to the Kenyan people, my dedication is to work for them. And my experience, Mr. Speaker, tells it. I have, thank God, been elected 3 times. 3 times. And I thank God also, for example, you asked of the valuables, jewelries. Largely, I'm talking about watches. And I've been wearing even before you became member of parliament, long before. But I know how to balance. I don't have to wear it so I can show off. For what? What value will it give to anybody? So I enjoy wearing it. Even this morning I was debating, should I wear a watch? Shall I not? Really, and it was a big debate there at home. Where usivai, where? I said, nitaficha tu kwa hii. I don't have to show it off. I'm sure it is only now you are realizing I was wearing a watch. So, show off for me is there's no way I'm going to show off, Mr. Speaker. That I can assure you. Mr. Mheshimiwa Naisula. Sorry, Mr. Speaker. On the question of Mheshimiwa Naisula, on matters speculation, that must be addressed, and urgently, because it denies Kenya an opportunity.
You largely touched on it.
Yes, but I want to talk about one important thing, and I see a great opportunity. I think Mheshimiwa Waigara, you asked on Murigara. Sorry. Murigara. George, Sir George, on your question on training for mining, how do we achieve, for example, how do we attain 10% contribution GDP? We must do what other countries did, train our people. There's also an opportunity. If you went to some countries, you will see a mining bank, a bank that focuses only on mining. Yes. So for us to achieve all that, real work must be done. And I want to assure you, it begins with capacity building. We must train the people. So, Mr. Speaker, on Junet, it's again opulence and show off banner. I don't need to show off. What you have, you have. What you don't, you don't. And you should be cautious of others. You should be cautious of others.
We should end there. Showing off actually is a sign of inferiority complex.
But I wanted to end with the one comment on Junet. I heard him yesterday say something. I heard him say that being rich is not a crime. And also I heard him say, I don't know whether Kimani Ichung'wah shared his audited account. I heard him say Kimani Ichung'wah is worth 5 billion shillings. So, brother...
Kimani contested that he had understated
that's what I heard yesterday.
Yes.
I mean, I saw it on TV somewhere. So I end here, Mr. Speaker. So I had a formal, like a point plan, Mr. Speaker.
But Speaker, you must tell the nominee, just like him, I don't show off.
In fact, nobody can tell that you are worth anything.
That is Hassan Joho, says Sultan. You know, I was very happy to see Sultan talking one of the best English. Like he had something that is derogatory, but still he was taking the question with a lot of knowledge. People from the coast region, they congratulated Sultan, that is Hassan Joho, for giving the best answers when it comes to the betting today. Again, you know, we have been having questions whereby people have been saying Joe is not brilliant, Joe is not learned. He said that he declared today that he just scored a D minus, but he never stopped. He never stopped working. He just moved ahead and started working hard, and now he is already to take masters and PhD in one of the best universities in the world. We say congratulations to Hassan Joho, and if given the duty to work in the blue economy, then he's going to deliver and make sure that the country of Kenya is in the right direction. Of course, he is one of the wealthiest. Of course, he gave his net worth, whereby he said he is worthy 2.3 billion Kenya shilling. You know, there is no any other SES who said that he is over a billion. And today, Ali Hassan Joho said that it's worth accumulation from the resources he has in Mombasa, the resources he has in Kilifi, Nairobi, is almost 2.3 billion. Again, I can see in the comment section here, Paris, Washington, welcome to Africa 24, is saying, what worries me is the amount of wealth these CS have increased in less than 2 years. Of course, everyone in this vetting is saying that there is always an increase in this graph. Like they're getting a lot of money. I don't know where, but Paris, Washington is saying he is worried that in less than 2 years, they have gotten a lot of money. What does this tell you? Corruption in Kenya is terrible. That that is Paris Washington, who is following the conversation in the comment section. Zalendo, I'm very sure that you have been shocked by the speech that was given by Ali Hassan Joho, even the answers that he gave to the committee. He was giving very good answers without even stammering, because people said he scored a D, and yesterday, that is day after yesterday, they were saying they are waiting to see how it's gonna be for Alias and Joe during the vetting, but they were shocked. Joe gave one of the best answers, and people were impressed. I've seen top journalists in Kenya congratulating him in the Instagram, and also making sure that the coastal region has to be respected. People have been saying the coastal region is not fluent when it comes to speaking English, but today Alias and Joe proved to them, and Kenyans are now quiet, waiting to see whether Alias and Joe is going to be given the duty to lead and is going to be given the mandate to take over when it comes to the blue economy. Welcome to the comment section whenever you're following. Welcome. This is Africa 24, and this is a 24-hour channel whereby we keep you updated when it comes to the news and also more about what is happening in the whole world. Zalendo, do you believe Alias Joe was prepared? Do you think he's qualified for the job? Do you think he's going to take this Azimio opposition to the UDA government, or is going to be absorbed completely by William Ruto? What is your take about Joe being vetted today and being one of the UDA cabinet secretaries? Come, Ivy is given the duty to lead the blue economy. Generally,
Uh, I feel, we are back at it again. I told you right from the onset that this is one of the leaders who was saying that he cannot work for the Kenya Kwanza government. And he said it. So these leaders are not principled. I don't know what changed in that. For somebody who wants about 2 billion Kenya shillings to come and pick a job of 1 million, it doesn't make sense to me. He has got better things to do. If he's a liberator, the way he pretends to be fighting for the people, then I think Joe would have remained outside there, putting the government on check. But even if you look at the kind of finances, although he says that some of his wealth is family wealth, I don't know whether they share the profits as a family, or if I have a brother, then that is also part of my wealth. They need to have investigated him thoroughly on this particular wealth that is claiming to have. But most importantly, to our viewers out there, these are leaders who are projecting to steal. That is my take. They have a projection that by the time I'm being vetted the next time, I am worth so much, and this is what I made. And remember, this is what I'd said earlier. I saw somebody else who had come in the vetting who had got a young man who was worth 31 million, yet he doesn't have even a car. So this account should be checked. Somebody is telling you they have billions in their accounts. This money should be out there circulating. In terms of business, they can open business for the young people in the country. So these leaders are not innovative. They are not creative. They depend on taxpayers' money to continue looting, and that is why they clamor for these positions. They are not principled. Joe, if you can look at for the clips that how he was fighting Ruto's government, shows you that they are not principled at all. And whatever they say, I cannot believe. If you want to believe somebody who said that Ruto's government is so corrupt that they cannot work with, then you believe them when they come and table their finances. This is absolutely rubbish. I cannot believe anything that they are saying. Whatever they are tabling up there in Parliament should be accompanied by a bank statement and KRA returns. So that is the only way that we will believe what they are saying. For me, and many Kenyans out there.
Mzalendo is saying only Kenyans will be left stuntering because of what is happening. But again, Joe, the fact that he is so wealthy is not joining the government to become just earning money, but he is looking for that famous, because I'm very sure Joe will vie for the president. We are waiting to see what is going to happen in 2027. So maybe he's looking for the presidency, and if he becomes the cabinet, then
You see, I said it, and this brings to the last point, although it's coming much, much earlier. The ODM party is already divided. There's no young generation that Raila Odinga has recommended for those particular positions. There's no young person who has been his name has been floated for party political positions. We are seeing the same old generation. So at the end of the day, the scheme is working so well. ODM will remain divided, and these particular leaders, once they are in government, they will not come back to ODM. They will always be part of the UDA government. They have agreed to work with William Ruto. They have resigned from their party positions, and they are now members of Kenya Kwanza government. They are in Kenya Kwanza literally. They have disowned the membership of their political parties. So these people are for the Asla movement, the Asla economy. So whatever agenda that Oparanya, Joho, and Mbadi are going to be propagating is William Ruto's Asla agenda. And if they were the best brains in ODM, then what we have right now is an ASLA government that are working in cooperation with ODM. So whatever they call it, government of national unity, blah blah, and nobody asked for a government of national unity. We only ask for a government of competence, not national unity. We need a government that is competent, that is able to deliver for the people of Kenya, not national unity. This craziness about tribe and all that, that you have to, and opposition and kingship and worshipping political leaders is driving us it's not curing the main problem that we have. Kenya, we have a cancer of tribalism. We also have a cancer of political parties that are being worshipped by followers who don't really know what to do. They follow political individuals, not even political parties, political individuals. Today, Raila Odinga will be in UDA, Kenya Kwanza government. They will all follow there. They will all follow there. And you have seen how the talks are. People trying to walk back their talk, whatever they have been saying bad about William Ruto and his government. They are now saying how William Ruto is good. The next thing that we'll be hearing in various platforms is how Gachagua is a bad leader. So Gachagua is being set up for possible impeachment and boxing on the side by these new recruits. You have seen the likes of Junet Mohammed. He has never been around, but now is now the minority whip. You have seen the kind of blows that he can throw, not physically but with his mouth. So these are some people that are like mouths for hire. Yeah, Ruto knows precisely what he wants with this college of leaders. He knows that the noise in the opposition side comes from ODM. He also knows very well that he's fighting Gen Zs and he cannot start another fight with ODM. So William Ruto is a political genius.
is a political genius. He's managed to finish ODMs technically by giving them these positions and making sure that Baba is sitting comfortably somewhere in AU. So nothing is going to happen in terms of the people who make or check the government, called the opposition. Right now, they are serving the UDA government. We don't have anything called ODM. We have the UDA Kenya Kwanza government. Yes.
Gypsy Kone say Joe is a proper Kenya Kwanza government. That is the comment section. And also saying Ruto's national unity government is rotten to the core. It's all about self and building their empires. That is the Gypsy Kone saying Joe is a proper Kenya Kwanza government. But there is a screenshot here that I took from the speech from Hassan Joho, and he's saying that I think I'm going to read it because I can zoom it. He's saying wapumbavu tu ndio hawabadilishi mawazo. Joe explains why he agreed to work with Ruto. He's saying that only the fools cannot change their minds. Only the fools cannot change their thoughts. That is why he agreed to work with Kenya Kwanza government, despite the criticism that he has been making towards the Kenya Kwanza government during the election campaigns and also during the Azimio la Umoja coalition meetings. He's saying only the fools, and now he agreed to work with the government. Now this one tells us that we don't have Azimio, because the only person who remains loyal is Edwin Sifuna, and that is why he appointed Junet and Millie Odhiambo to take over after exit of Badi and Wycliffe Oparanya. So we are waiting to see if Azimio is going to be splitted again or it's over for the position in the country of Kenya. So those are some of the things that we saw today when it comes to the vetting. Remember, the vetting was closed today. We're waiting to see the next step, if they are going to be given the duty or not. Again, we have seen President William Ruto addressing the congregation after the church today in Narok, whereby he said, you should now relax. Everything is okay. We have now the Azimio members in the government. Relax and wait, because now we are going to work together to deliver to the people of Kenya.
Hapa Narok, watu walikuwa wananiuliza hapo nyuma, wewe ule mama mboga yako ulikuwa unasema kazi gani unamfanyia? Si ndio? Sasa mimi nataka niwaambie hapa Narok tunajenga soko 11 mpya. Na tayari karibu 9 imeanza kujengwa. Yenu ya hapa ni kwa sababu ni soko kubwa. Ile ingine ya town zile zingine tunaweka milioni 50. Lakini ya town hii tumeweka milioni 200 kujenga modern market. Na tumekubaliana na governor na tumekubaliana na mjumbe wenu na viongozi wale wengine ya kwamba hiyo kazi itakapoanza ifike mahali nitakuja kufanya inspection mwenyewe nione kama ramani imechorwa vizuri.
That is President William Ruto today saying that Mama Boga will be well represented when it comes to the current government. Zalendo, do you agree with the words of William Ruto that Mama Boga, the common mwananchi, now will be represented? What about the last 2 years, whereby people have been asking, where's Mama Boga? Is this the right time that he realized that Mama Boga should be represented? Is this the right time that the president realized that everything?
Before I answer that, maybe this will answer your question of the political class and what I think of them.
Juzi, na nataka munisikize kwa makini hapa. William Ruto. Saa hii tuko mwaka wa 2020. Amekuwa deputy president from 2013. 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 ndio leo atiwasema vijana wanataka pikipiki. Leo ndio wasema vijana wanataka baiskeli. Leo ndio wasema vijana wanataka wilbaro. Kweli wewe unatetea haki ya wanyonge na utawapatia kile chako ulicho nacho. We will not allow you to use lies. Hatuwezi kuwa wajinga tudanganywe kila siku. Tunawezekana kweli? Kwamba serikali ina mipango mikubwa ya kuboresha maisha ya watu. Watu wanapiga kura kuchagua serikali ambayo itaboresha maisha ya watu. Hauchagui serikali kwa sababu mtu anakuambia mimi ni maskini mwenzako. You look at ideas and the vision of a leader and how it will transform the country, my friend.
So huyo alikuwa ni Ali Hassan Joho, lakini huyu mwingine alikuwa ni nani wa leo?
Huyu mwingine alikuwa ni Ruto amejifunika.
So ukiniuliza mambo ya sera ya watu wa siasa, this guy you've just seen being vetted there. Tomorrow you will change everything. They will change like chameleons. They are not principal leaders. You see, like here in the US, you are all accountable for your word. Ile kitu umesema, don't say something that you don't mean in public, because it will be played back to you. Unaona kama Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, everything that they said, it is being played back to them. That was your position then. What has changed? But we have not developed to that extent where our mind, our brains functions like, this is the right thing to do. These developed countries, they know that leaders have to be accountable for their word. They have to be honest and they have to have integrity. And if you don't have integrity, you resign. You resign from your position as a leader, because leaders are held in very, very high esteems in Europe and in America. So having a leader telling you this, then kesho anakuambia kitu ingine, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So a leader should be principled. They should be held to their word, what they are saying, and they should be held accountable. You cannot be a leader and say that you cannot work with William Ruto because he is corrupt, he is so much. Then you accept a position from the same government that you said yesterday that is corrupt. Then you say something like, only a fool cannot change his mind. But you're changing your mind too many times. Even tomorrow you'll change your mind and tell us only a fool cannot change his mind. Then the next day you'll also change your mind and tell us only a fool cannot change his mind. Only fools accept these people as leaders. Only fools. Yes, I said it.
Zalendo is saying only a fool can say whatever Joe said today and the other year, that is 2020. But again, this is the country Kenya. Our politicians are never stable. And I think if we get that notion whereby you are accounted for what you say, then our country will be in a safe place. Because every person in this country is always saying some things which you cannot even weigh. Ruto National, Gypsy Corner is saying, Gypsy Corner in the comment section is saying, Ruto National unity government is rotten to the core. It's all about self and building their empires. It's like they are building their empires, making sure that the next step, even if they fail to join the government and form the government come 2027, they have enough resources. So we're waiting to see whether they are going to perform or not. That is what we are
Sasa
waiting
hizi
for.
tumeunda serikali ya kila mtu. Hakuna mtu sasa ya kulalamika, hakuna mtu ya kupingana. Sasa sisi wote tusimame pamoja, tupangane pamoja, tuungane, tushirikiane. Ile sasa kazi iko ni vile tutashirikiana, tutatue changamoto za taifa letu la Kenya tukiwa pamoja. Ile kazi iko sasa ni kupanga maendeleo ya taifa letu la Kenya tukiwa pamoja. Hakuna sasa vizingizio tena, hakuna vijisababu tena, hakuna excuses ya kusema ho kwa sababu ya hii, kwa sababu ya hii. Sasa hii serikali imeunganisha watu wote hapo ndani.
Watu wote wako serikalini. This is why the president is saying kila mtu ako kwa serikali. You're waiting to see.
Yeah, so hakuna kelele, kila mtu yuko kwa serikali sasa hivi, na ni ukweli hivyo. Ndio alikuwa amemaliza, amefanya kazi yake vizuri. Hakuna opposition. What he said literally is that hakuna opposition sasa hivi. We are all in government. Black is saying he's joining in 20 minutes. Black, njoo hapa. So we are all in government. Kila mtu yuko kwa serikali. So ukitaka kujua so the only opposition that people are going to oppose right now, ule mtu ataopoziwa sasa hizi ni huyu mtu. This is the only opposition left. So the only opposition left in Kenyan government is Riggy G. Riggy G is the only one who is going to be in the opposition. So that is what we are having at the moment. So ideally, we are going to see a lot of infighting in Kenya Kwanza government. Those who are aligned with Riggy G. Riggy G today had a meeting with Mount Kenya people. He said that he doesn't, he cannot question what the president is saying. So for Riggy G, for him is not into this government of national unity. He's saying said in vernacular, these people did not vote for us, and there's no reason for them being in our government that we formed. So that is what was Riggy G's statement today. Where they got it all wrong, where he got it all wrong is when he said that Mira is a cash crop. Yes, Mira is a cash crop, but it is a drug that they are feeding people with. Even if it is a matter of votes that people are looking for, that Mira should be banned completely because it is a drug. So that's it. That is it with Riggy G and the people of Mount Kenya. So there will be a lot of rift and a lot of political realignment as we move forward in our politics. More so, what I feel is that Gachagua will look for new alliances with the Kalonzo and definitely with the Luya community. That would be a very, very strong force that would come to in 2027. Now, where the Gen Zs will fall in all this mix are the people who are going to form the government of the day. Whether you like it or not, those are the people who are going to form the government of the day. So where the Gen Zs are going to fall at the end of the day will form the government of the day. So there will be a lot of political realignment moving in the future of our politics. So we expect to see a lot of drama in the political scene regarding Rigiji and William Ruto. So that's what I have seen, and of course, Babu Owino and ODM. There's also some drama coming in there. There's also some drama coming in there. So we hope to see this kind of things happening in the political scene.
Yeah, that is Mzalendo saying we hope to see some of the things happening in the political scene. We are waiting to see what is going to happen in the political era in our country, Kenya. Our some will say Rigiji is a panic mood. He has started crying and no one has done anything yet. Haha. The peak is when he will be impeached. That will be the biggest betrayal in the politics of the country, Kenya, if we beat the honest man from the village, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. Thank you. This was your 60 minutes talk, whereby we were briefing you more about what is happening in our country, more about politics and the vetting that happened today on the last day of the vetting of the nominees who were given the work to perform and lead the country through the President of the Republic of Kenya, the likes of the likes of John Mbadi, the likes of Alfred Mutua, Alice Wahome, the likes of Kipchumba Murkomen, the likes of Muruga, the likes of Duale, Soipantuya. Those were the nominees who were given the mandate to work and lead the cabinet. So the vetting ended today. We are waiting to see the next step. And of course, we have tackled more about what is happening in the political forum in our country, Kenya, because since the dismissal of the cabinet, our country politics has not been stable. Azimio is split already. UDA still some of the problems there because the former SG, that is Cleophas Malala, was switched, and this is after the goons attacked the headquarters along Gong Road. So everything is not stable after what happened, and this all sums after the Gen Z protest that happened in the month of June and July. We are seeing the consequences of the Gen Z protest, pushing the government to work and lead the people of Kenya in the right way. This is the effect of the Gen Z, that they are still pushing to be given the right to represent the country, and public communication to be done in the right order, public engagement to be right in the right way. So waiting to see. So thank you so much for tuning into today's 60-minute show. After this, we have the political show that is coming. So we are going to discuss now what is happening in the UDA's government, what is happening in the Azimio, what next after the opposition has been collapsed already. The opposition has been absorbed already by the UDA government. What next now? So we're going to discuss this in our political talk. We are here. Thank you, Mzalendo, for joining the 60 minutes. And of course, we have briefed the Kenyans on what is happening in the political forum and also in all areas in our country. Again, we join tomorrow for the 60 minutes. Don't just tune. We are just getting back for the political talk that is coming in the next PO. I expect to see you, Black. I expect to see you, Awesome, Gibbs Corner, Paris Washington, in the next show. Dario, I expect to see you in the next show that is happening in a few minutes. Thank you so much. And same place, same time tomorrow as we discuss in our 60 minutes talk that will be coming daily basis in Africa 24. We just request you to subscribe in our YouTube channel. Give us your comment there. We shall be hearing it live. In YouTube, just like, comment, and subscribe. Facebook, just like, and in our X platform, that is where you can engage through and give us your comment. Thank you so much, and same place, same time.